Okay, so this tutorial is going to be based on newborn baby girl. So I made the length of this thing. I've already cut this down. That's the part, the down part, that's the pleated part. So I just cut like a very long stripe. So the length is 20 inches. So the half length is going to be 8 inches, while the other length, that's the down part, is going to be 12 inches. But I made this 15.5 inches. So half inch is to hold it at the upper part here, while the remaining 3 inches is to fold it in. So all the length is going to be 20 inches at the end of the day. So this is, I made the wideness 24 inches for the wideness. So that's 48 inches in total. Now I'm just going to go ahead and fold it again into 4 like this, then notch it. So the reason you are notching it so that you get the middle point. Now it will be easy to locate when you are folding the pleats. You know that okay, this is where the middle stopped, you know. So that's just it. I'm not going to be separating it. It's going to be together like this. So this is the half length. I already folded this into 2. Then I'll measure the length, which is 8 inches plus 1 inch. That's 9 inches. So the wideness is that's the bust, 20 inches. So that 20 inches I'll add 2 inches extra. So divided into 4 is 5 inches plus 2 is 7 inches for the baby's bust. The baby shoulder is 4.5 inches, then plus 1/2 inch sewing allowance, that's 5 inches. So this is the 9 inches for the length. So a bust point, I normally use the bust point as 6.5 inches, where the bust point is going to start. So the only thing I'll measure is just the bust and the waist. So our bust is 7 inches, like I said before. The waist is going to be 7 inches, so it's going to be like 20 inches round. So now the armhole is going to be the 20 inches divided by 6 plus 1.5. So 20 inches divided by 6 is 3.333. So I approximated it to 3.5. So 3.5 plus 1.5, that's in 5 inches. I'm just going to chalk out that 5 inches. So I normally use their nipple to nipple as 2.5 inches. So that is going to serve as the dart. I'll just curve this. So the neck width is going to be 1.5, while the depth is going to be 2.5 inches. So this down is 1 inch. Then I'm slanted to meet this 1.5. So that's going to be the wideness of the neck. So this part, the half of 5 inches is 2.5. So I'm just going to come in by 1/2 inch here, so that it will be comfortable for the baby. Although this one is optional, there is no need. You can just leave it the way it is, or you can do it this way. Anyone, it's fine. So I'll cut it out. Then I'll make sure I trace all this on all the 4 parts. So this is it after cutting. The length of the sleeve is 7 inches. Round arm for the baby, that's the upper arm of the baby, is 8 inches. I'm going to make it 8 inches so that it will be free and she'll be comfortable in 8. So that's 8 inches divided by 2 will give me 4 inches plus extra 2 will give me 6 inches. So this wideness I have here is 12 inches. I'm cutting out 2 of this. So when I fold it like this, I'll have that 6 inches I just measured now. So the 7 inches, I'll just minus 1 inch from it and make it 6 inches. for the length. So this length is going to be like very small. So I'm going to be adding extra band to it. The band I'm making 3.5 inches for the length of the band. So by the time I add everything, I should have around 7, the exact 7 inches I want, or 7.5 inches. So which is okay. So down here I'm going to come down by 2.5 inches. Curve it. So this round sleeve is going to be 5 inches. So this 5 inches is the round sleeve on its own is going to be 3 inches. That's 6 inches for the wideness, although I'm going to be making it like a little bit wider than that 6 inches, so that it will be free for the baby. Baby will be able to put her hand. I also want the baby to like the hand to be easy to remove, you know, to be easy to enter. So I'll make it a little bit wider. So let me just, instead of that 5 inches, let me add extra 0.25 and make it 5.25 inches. So the wideness is going to be 3.25. So I'm adding like extra 2 inches. That's 5.5 inches. So the wideness of the sleeve is going to be 6.5 for the total wideness. I hope you get that part very well. So by the time I pleat it and I sew in the sewing allowance, so I'm going to have that exact 6.5 inches that I want for the wideness of the sleeve. So now I'm going to cut it out. So guys, I just cut out the band of the sleeve. So this is the band folded like this. So I make the length of the band 3.5 inches for the length of the band, while the wideness, the width is 8.5 inches for the width of the band. So that's you know, we made it 6.5 inches here in total. So that's 6.5 inches divided into 2 is 3.25. So the 3.25 plus 1 inch sewing allowance give me the 4.25, which is the 8.5. I hope you get. So that's just it. So I'm just going to go ahead and notch all this middle part, so know exactly where I'll be joining. Okay. So this is what I have. So after joining it, I'll have something like this. So after joining itself, I will have like 8 inches in total. That's after joining the 1/2 inch. So it will still be a little bit longer, which is okay, which is fine. Yeah. So that's it. The depth of the neck is 2.5 inches. So I'll be adding extra 3.5 to the facing. So the facing is going to come like 3.5. So that is 6 inches. So the depth is, so the length of the facing is going to be 6 inches, while the wideness is 1.5 inches. So that 1.5 inches, I'll be adding 3 inches to the side, which is going to be 4.5 inches. So that's what I'm going to use to trace out the facing. So now I'll trace this out. So I'll measure 3 inches here, then 3.5 inches here. So I have like a straight. I'm just going to slant this a little bit, slant it in by 1/2 inch, then trace it. After cutting it out, I have something like this for the facing. So the wideness of the cap, I'm going to make it 7.5 inches. So I just folded this into 2 like this. So I just want to manage this remaining side. But I'll be folding in 7.5 inches round. I'm measuring 7.5 inches round. So you just fold it like you're folding a flare. So this is 7.5 inches that I'm measuring out. So that's going to be for the wideness of the cap. Okay, so this is the band of the cap. So I already cut it out. What I did was made the wideness 10 inches. You know that the cap is 16 inches for the wideness. So divided into 2 is 8 inches. This is folded into 2. So I made it 8 inches, then added 2 inches to it for the sewing allowance and the elastic. This children's cap, I've really had issues with it very well in the past. I used to make it like 18 inches and it ends up falling from their head. So I normally make it 16 inches now. It will stay exactly on their head. So I make it 16 inches, which is divided into 2, gave me 8 inches, plus extra 2, gave me 10 inches. I already picked out all the folders. So that was the first thing I did. So the next thing I'll do is place my facing on it. So I'll make sure the two back, this is the back and this is the back, is facing up. So I'll just lay it neatly, then pin it down. So I've pinned it down in the 4 places here, as you can see. So I'm just going to go ahead and sew it round. So I'll sew it in by 1/2 inch. I'll be starting from here. So I've removed the pins and I've notched it. So I notched this place, these 6 places. So I notched these 6 places. Next thing I'll do is bring it to the face, then bring it out and lay it neatly. So after laying it neatly, I'm just going to pin it down again, just so it stays perfectly. So just make sure these lines align. So make sure you iron so that you'll be able to see these lines. So this line too must align, it must be on each other. So it must lay very well so that the neck is going to stay perfectly on the baby's neck. Okay, so that's it. I'm just going to start my sewing from here. So I'm going to fold in 1/2 inch. I'm trying to like release the upper part so that it won't be excess here. Okay, you can see that these lines, they are aligning. So this is how it looks like. So what I'll be sewing next is the sleeve and the down part. So this is one of the sleeve. So what I normally do is I normally pleat just 3 pleats for babies and children. So I'll just start from 2.5 inches and start my pleats there. So I just pick the pleats tiny, like 0.25. So the next one is going to be on the notched part, that's the middle. While the third one too is going to be before the 2.5 inches. So that's just it's just 3 pleats. I'll do the same to the other sleeve. So I've done the same thing to the other sleeve. The next thing I'll be placing is the band. So this is the face of the sleeve and this is the face of the band. So I'm going to face the two on each other. So it's going to be on each other like this. Then I'm going to take this sleeve to the back here. So you can see this is on each other, while this is going to go to the back. So the reason is so that it will not be having top stitch on the front of the sleeve. I'll explain that. So after I'm done, I'm just going to bring it out. Okay. So guys, this is what I have after I'm done. So this is what I have. This is the back, this is the front. So it won't have any top stitch here. I hope this is obvious. So you can see it's not having any top stitching. It's looking neat and nice. So I'm just going to apply the same method to this other sleeve. So this is the pleated part, that's the down part. So I just want to measure this upper part around so that I'll be able to get the down part too. So I'm having 11.5 in total here. So divided by 2 is 5.25. Abi? If I'm right, let me see. Oh, okay. So I'm having 5.75. So all the pleats that I'll be pleating from here to here has to be 5.75. So I'm just going to be picking pleats randomly, then pin it down. So I'm going to leave like 2 inches. So I'm leaving like 2 inches. So the pleat has to end on that 2 inches. So whatever I'm folding has to like stop there so that there will be enough space to hold in the sides. So I just picked pleats randomly, but make sure all the pleats are the same size. Like this one is looking bigger, while these ones are looking smaller. So I'm just going to arrange that again and make sure it's on the same size. So from here to here, I think I already have the 5.75 inches that I want. Okay. So I just want to confirm the wideness of the pleats. Maybe it's okay. Okay. So like I used to say in my tutorial, for those people that have watched my past tutorial, once you get this first 3 and quarter, so the others will be easy to get. So it's only this first and quarter that takes time. So now the difference is 1 inch. So I already know that the difference is 1 inch. Why the wideness of my pleat is 0.75. So that's 0.75 is not up to 1 inch. So that's the wideness of this pleat. So now I'm just going to follow the method that I use here to do the remaining ones. So the difference is 1 inch. So the next pleat is going to start from that 1 inch. Why the wideness is 0.75. So the next one too, the wideness is 1 inch. Why the pleat is 0.75. So I also do the same to the last one. 0.75. So you can see the remaining ones are very easy to get. So I'll measure everything round, which gave me the 11.5 inches. So I think I'm on the right track. I have 11.5 inches too. So that's it. Then I'm going to apply the same method to this other side. So guys, I've already done the same thing to this side too. So you can see everything is set. Then I can go ahead and sew it down. So this part is the side allowance. I'm still going to be slitting this place. Like I'm still going to be cutting it. So that's just it for the pleated part. Then I'll go ahead and sew it down. So I don't want to end up losing, sewing. That's why I had to pin it down first before I now sew it, actually sew it once and for all. Guys, this is it. You can see that it's looking the same on this side and it's looking the same on this side, and it's laying on each other. So that's it for the pleated part. So I'll go ahead and place the sleeve on this upper part. So make sure the two face are on each other. Then I start my arrangement from the middle point. So I'll just trace it down to this place. So the reason I do that is at times the sleeve ends up longer than the cloth, or the cloth ends up longer than the sleeve. So I don't end up losing and losing. So I just trace it from the middle so that I'll be able to get it once. The notched parts are on each other. So this is how it's looking like. I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing to the other sleeve. So I'm done fixing both ends. Now I'm going to be fixing the down part. So this down part, I'll slit this place a little bit so that I'll be able to join it on the upper part. So I'm not just going to slit everything. So now I'm just going to place it on each other like this, and I'll pin it. The next thing is to join the other side too. So make sure the right face are on each other. So this is how it's looking like already. So it's already looking like this. So I'm going to bring it to the back. And I'll be joining everything together. So around sleeve, I'm making it 6.5. So you can make it 6.5 or 7 inches. I'm making it 6.5. That's 3.25. So I'm going to make an arm of 5.5 inches. So I just want it free on her so that it won't be irritating her. Then you know that kids, they wear clothes under. That's a newborn baby, so that there will be enough space inside. So just make it a little bit wider. So our chest is 20, but I'll be adding 2.25 to it and make it, that's 21. Now it will be a little bit wider. So the waist too, I'll do the same thing. So the good thing about kids clothes is just sew it straight down, no pockets, no zip. So the same thing I did to this side, I'm going to do it to this side. So I'm just going to hold in 3.25 for the sleeve, then 5.5, then 21. That's from here to here divided by 2. That's 10.10.5. So from here to here is going to give me the 10.5. So I'm just going to chalk that then. So it's straight down and get back. So you can see that this is the part that I did not cut finish. So if I'm weaving it, the weaving is just going to stop here. So just the essence, instead of cutting it all the way through, there is no need for that. So I'm just going to sew that and get back. So guys, after holding the down parts, you know, the 3 inches are the down parts, so this is the final look. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial. Please guys, I would really love you to like my videos and share. Thank you so much. I'll see you in my next video.